Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to Media Junkie. My name is Wes, and this is...
Jamar.
And today we're going to be talking about Spider-Man Homecoming 2, tentative title, predictions. Go ahead and cue the intro. All right, Jamar, I don't know why I just pounded the table like that. Let's talk about predictions for Spider-Man Homecoming 2, tentative title. What do you think's going to happen?
Well, I already know. I guess we did some. I've already read a few things online, and this movie's clearly going to be a new jumping point for the next phase in like the Marvel movies. So I think this is going to be some aftermath of some people dying. Maybe Tony Stark. I don't know. But then of course
he's going. Robert Downey's going down.
He's going down. He's going down. By who? I don't know. But he's going to die. But yeah, so there's going to be some aftermath with that. I'm sure Peter Parker is going to be dealing with that. Maybe, a little upset, caught off guard. And maybe the Vulture and Scorpion somehow get out of jail. And
Absolutely.
we're going to go from there.
It looks like our next villain is going to be Scorpion in the film, which I'm okay with.
Mm-hmm.
Scorpion was always just kind of like a dumb side character. Like even if you look at the '90s cartoon, he was never really that menacing or that scary. But if you look at Vulture, Vulture was the exact same way. Vulture was just kind of this cheesy '60s old man villain who was never really a problem. And this movie actually made him pretty menacing and scary. So I'm excited to see if Scorpion is our villain, what they can do with him. But the main question I have, Jamar, is Sinister Six coming? And I'm going to say yes. What do you think?
You think in Spider-Man 2?
I don't think they're coming
working
in Spider-Man
title
2.
or
I think they're going to implement more. The reason being is the end of Homecoming, spoiler alert, plus you wouldn't be watching this if you didn't see the movie. And if you are, why? That doesn't make sense. But the end of Spider-Man Homecoming, right, when he's in prison and, I can't think of Scorpion's real name right now. It's like Mac something. Talks to Vulture. Adrian Toomes and says, oh, I know who you know who Peter Parker is. And he's like, nah, I don't know who Peter Parker is, bro. Walks away. Right? And then he says he's got some men on the outside that want him dead. Who are those men?
Yeah, and which I guess this kind of brings up another point about Homecoming, but why do they want him dead already? Like, I mean, I guess it's a small sample size of what we've seen in the movie, but he hasn't ticked that many people off yet, has he?
Well, he really messed up Scorpion's face and arm.
Yeah, I guess that's true. That is true. So, yeah, the guys on the outside, that line, they wouldn't have just said that as a throwaway. It definitely has to be like them foreshadowing for the Sinister Six, of course. That's honestly, like, there's no way. The Marvel's way too smart to just throw that in there just for it to be a throwaway.
Yeah, they're working towards Sinister Six. You can clearly see that. They're using the villains that they would need to use to go that route. So I think we're going to get some more tidbits into Sinister Six's next film. Not necessarily getting Sinister Six's next film. Maybe just Scorpion. Could be Scorpion and some other small villain. Maybe Black Cat will be in the film to tie in the Black Cat film that Sony's going to eventually release.
Right.
But I think we will get more information on Sinister Six that may tie into the third film that will come out in the series.
Yeah, I mean, I would be interested to see, one, obviously I want more Spider-Man films for Marvel because Homecoming was awesome. But two, I'd also like to see how Sony and like Marvel Studios can kind of balance that act between the two, and like, will they keep it continuity or not? And, I'm really curious to see how that goes through, because if Sony just kind of completely jerks the chain and does their own thing, then they could still do Sinister Six, like you said, but not necessarily titling it that, but have those like villains in the films, like in the Marvel universe.
I know what they're going to do in Homecoming 2 is they're going to keep him in high school, because that's all the problems the other Spider-Man's has is they graduated him too quickly. Keep him in high school. Keep it that kind of, buddy high school film.
Yeah.
The kind of 80s films we grew up on, like Breakfast.
Well,
keep that feeling.
They mentioned in there, like, he did say he was a sophomore, right?
Yeah, so
he's got some years, yeah.
So we're keeping high school. I wholeheartedly am predicting that J. Jonah Jameson and the Daily Bugle will show up in the next film.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, that's a character that they need to bring into the film, and not necessarily. I mean, it would be great if they brought back the same actor to do J. Jonah Jameson, because that is J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah.
So hopefully they can do that as more like an Easter egg into the previous films, like the fish that was in this one that was in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I mean, I guess I didn't. I kind of, before you even mentioned that point, didn't even think about it. But yeah, there was no mention at all, like, of the daily. So yeah, maybe I could see that.
Yeah,
That's a pretty strong prediction.
Yeah, he's going to have to start, getting a little job, and I feel like that will be in the next film. So far we have Daily Bugle, J. Jonah Jameson. We have Scorpion as the main villain, and we have more tidbits into Sinister Six leading into the third or fourth film. Something I think we'll also get in this film is a little bit of Venom. Now, hear me out here. I know they've stated that Venom is in its own universe, but I think they're kind of pulling our chains at this point, because a Spider-Man film would make, or a Venom film would make no sense, literally no sense, without having some type of form to tie into the Spider-Man film series, right?
Yeah.
Because if you just had a Venom film, unless Venom, they were just going just strictly by itself, and it's an astronaut in space, and he brings it back, and it sticks to him, and he turns into Venom, then okay. Then you have a Venom film that makes no sense.
They gotta have Spider-Man in it, right?
Yeah, correct. You need to have Spider-Man in it, so there needs to be some kind of Venom information. And I don't know if you are aware of this, but when does Venom release?
Ooh, I don't know.
No worries. So it's going to release. What's that?
No, so we have the internet. We can find it.
It's releasing next year, October 5th, 2018, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which seems relatively soon. In Spider-Man Homecoming 2, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. That Venom film makes no sense.
At all. Unless it kind of gets canceled or, pushed back or something like that, maybe. But yeah, I see what you're saying. It really doesn't fit at all.
Okay.
And I would hope that they don't do like the kind of like the Marvel and Fox thing right now, where you had like the Agents of Shields like talking about like Inhumans, and they want to talk about mutants, but they can't because Fox like, no, we have mutants, and like I hope it doesn't turn into something like that, because that's awful.
They're gifted.
Yeah.
I still think we'll get a Venom reference in the next film. Not necessarily tie everything into the same universe, because that makes no sense since it releases before Homecoming 2, and there were no Venom references in this film. So that we have no idea what that's going to be like. That is a crapshoot.
Yeah, it kind of scares me, because I feel like the movie is just set up to like fail, because after the success of Spider-Man, you can't come out with something that's related to Spider-Man, but not unless it was, I don't know. I can't see it.
Yeah, I don't see it either. So I'm gonna scratch most of what I just said about Venom, except for that there will be some kind of mention of it.
All right.
I want them to keep the same director
from Homecoming.
John Watts. What's that?
You said same director from Homecoming?
Yeah, John Watts. They need to keep the same director. He knows the humor. He knows that 80s kids films, the John Hughes type films, and he's shown himself to be a great filmmaker with this film. So keep him on board. Marvel, lock him down for this film, just like James Gunn for Guardians. Keep this guy moving forward. He knows what he's doing. I'm hoping to get a little bit more information on Miles in the next film. What do you think?
Yeah, I could see. Well, I think what we'll probably see is maybe the Prowler kind of come into a little bit instead of like more of Miles. You know what I mean? I feel like that's going to be maybe farther down the road, like after Peter Parker graduates, like.
Well, yeah, this film's 2 years later, so that's kind of what I meant by a little bit more about Miles is a little bit more
story overall
around that character. So Prowler would be a perfect example, right? So have Donald Glover become the Prowler in the next film,
right?
And then 2 years down the road for the next film, have him and Spider-Man have a battle inside, a science laboratory where there's a spider there, and show him go into the bag, but don't tie anything else into it. Have Prowler leave with that spider. And then 2 years later, there's your next Spider-Man film.
It'd be cool, though, just to have like a little neat like sort of cameo or Easter egg of the little kid, like maybe drawing like a photos or a picture of Spider-Man or something like that. It'd be
Yeah,
cool.
just something. Like
Yeah.
if Donald Glover becomes Prowler in the next film, I think that'd be great. So do it. And last thing, personally, that I want to see in the next film, and I want to predict in the next film, is more Spider-Man suits. Because there are so many Spider-Man suits out there. I'd love to see the Iron Spider suit.
I was
That's
just gonna
that.
say that. Do you
Yeah,
think he
that
gets the
yellow.
Iron Suit or?
I think we'll eventually see that. Personally, I think we'll see that in Avengers if we're going to see it anywhere, because they're going to need in the second one, Infinity Gauntlet or whatever it's going to be called. They're going to need something stronger and better. So Iron Man or Tony Stark will upgrade his suit and upgrade everyone else to take this person down.
Thor's belt, which was a Easter egg in Homecoming.
Which is an incredible hardware in itself. It's like Major. I can't say it. Which was funny in that film, by the way.
That was good.
But I do think we'll see more Spider-Man suits because that's one great thing on Spider-Man is all his different suits. Maybe he won't wear them, but it was great, just like in Homecoming, to see that suit at the end.
Yeah, I'm completely fine with that. I just don't want to see like the extra gadgets like Spidey bike and stuff like that. That's like in the Ultimate Spider-Man. Like I don't want to see that.
That cartoon?
Yeah.
No,
I just don't like the idea of him like riding a motorcycle. It just seems weird.
Oh yeah. No, do you think? What do you think's gonna be the next film?
Well, I mean, it's pretty much what I was thinking as well. I don't even think if I have anything I could add to it. My big thing is I know Tony Stark's gonna die beforehand, and Peter Parker's gonna be pretty upset. That's all I have.
He's for sure going down. His film contract's ending. He's been with the series for so long now. At that point, it would have been over 10 years. Would be 22 films into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They're not going to be able to continue to afford him if they want to, keep budgets relatively in the $300 million range because he's been demanding $50 million a film.
Jeez.
So, I mean, they could do with him what they did with Spider-Man and reboot him with a different actor down the line. But it would have to be
they have to kill him.
Actor.
Yeah, it have to be because he's gone. One thing I guess to add real quick on this is what do you think is gonna come of MJ and like how do you think their relationship is gonna be? Is it gonna be romantic, friends? Like what do you see?
The way she looked at him when he ran out of the last film, one of the last scenes, it will be romantic interest.
Yeah.
Do you think Mary Jane will pop up in the next film so that we'll have Michelle, MJ, and Mary Jane, or are we only going with Michelle?
I think we're only going with Michelle, and if they add someone else, it'll be just a maybe new character in general. I would hope not, at least, because it would be really awkward to have that and sort of probably confusing to a lot of people who aren't like really deep into it. But I would have to agree with you as well. At first, I thought I was going to be kind of like she's like the Helga Pataki to Spider-Man.
The Peter Parker statue.
That's a deep reference. If you don't watch like Hey Arnold, you wouldn't have any clue what's going on. But I feel like that's what I was thinking. At least it would be like she's not gonna ever confess that she likes him, but it's gonna be, yeah, he's cool. I hate him, but I love him, kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. So, anything else?
Nah, man, I don't have anything else to add. That's awesome.
All right, so Jamar and I want to know, what do you think is going to happen in the next film? Is Dr. Octopus going to show up? I sure hope not. Who's going to show up in the next film? We have no idea, but we're going to predict that Scorpion is going to be the main villain in the film with tidbits to Sinister Six leading into the third film. I'd personally love to see Kraven. So if you can make Kraven happen, that would be really cool. Someone that's hunting Spider-Man. I think that'd be cool. But yeah, who do you think is going to be the bad guy in the next film? Or what are your predictions for Spider-Man Homecoming 2? Tentative title. And let us know below in the comments. We'll respond to you because Jamar and I are talkers and we like to talk. So we will respond back to you. Cool. Do you have anything to say, Jamar?
No. Do all that other stuff that we like for people to do. Subscribe. Follow us on Twitter at Media Junkie Vids.
You got it.
Our Facebook page, which is the official Media Junkie. And that's it.
Absolutely. If you like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I know it's not Spider-Man. We have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle contest going on until August 1st. The video's down below. Go ahead and click on that. There's just 4 simple steps in order to win a free pin. I think, Jamar, you may even have a pin on your desk around you somewhere. It's limited to 200 pin troll Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles pin to go with the new season that's on television right now. So go ahead and do that. Follow us. Be our friends. We like you people. Awesome. Well, I'm Wes with Media Junkie. And who are you?
I am Jarmar. Bye.
Have a good one.